In this film I'm going to show you how you can add components to products and how you can therefore price that product up. If I select the edit product button, we'll see the product record which I created earlier. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to press a button here which is called add component. This allows me to add in an element into the product. This is very useful because it means we can build up a very sophisticated product from a series of components. In the first case, because what we're dealing with here is a cloud-based IT system for use in a business, the first element of the product is the standard registration fee. So entering the name of that, I'm now coming into an element which allows me to put in my payment type. Now we have three choices here. We can have standard pricing, monthly or annual subscriptions. I'm going to choose a standard pricing. I can now choose whether I take a particular type of price, or pricing scheme it sometimes might well be called. In this case I'm going to choose the on-off because it's something you take or you don't actually get the system. So if I click on off here, I now just get a single price which I can enter. In this case I'm going to say the standard registration fee is going to be 2,000. I'm now going to move on to my next component, and this component is going to be the amount of server space which is allocated to this particular customer or particular customers. So if I press the component again, if I say server space, again my payment type here is going to be different because they're going to pay this on a monthly subscription. So I'm going to click in here, and it's going to be based on per unit. This is a fairly simple system which allows me to specify whether they take 1 or 10 or 20 or 30, the price remains the same. So the units, the name of the units in this case is going to be called per gigabyte. And the monthly price per gigabyte is going to be a relatively low number. Let's say it's going to be $4. The next component I'm going to add is going to be the workstations. And here again it's going to be a monthly subscription. And in this case we're going to put in a slightly more sophisticated type of pricing. And in this case basically what happens is that we're going to use the volume-based pricing, which basically says the more units that you take, the cheaper the price is per unit. So let's go in here and let's put down per workstation, and here we can put some numbers in. We can put in, and they call them price lines. So I'm going to add in a new price line, and we start at 1, so that's one workstation. And in my first pricing bank I'm going to have up to 10, and 1 to 10 are going to be 30 per month. 11, that's the next logical number up. 11 to 50, they're going to be a little bit cheaper, they're going to be 28 a month. And 51 and over, we're going to make those 25. So basically, if somebody comes in to us and says, look, I want to buy your workstation, I want to take an order with you, you simply add up, work out how many workstations they're going to want, and apply the appropriate cost, which in this case will be 25 per workstation. But let's assume this next component is priced differently. This is an office product. Again, this one perhaps it could be by an annual subscription. And the way that this annual subscription works, it's in what's called the tiered pricing scheme. We'll price it per user, and again, in a similar way to the volume pricing, we have price bands. And again, we'll use a similar sort of system. So we'll say 1 to 10 per year. That's going to be 9. 11 to, that's a different company, so let's say it might be 11 to 50. It's going to be 8. and 51 and over, it's going to be 7. Now this works slightly differently in that, unlike the volume pricing, the price point which applied corresponded to the top number of in this case workstation boards. So if you buy more than 51 workstations, every workstation you buy costs you 25. In this case it's a bit different. So for the first 10 workstations you'll pay $9 a year. For the next, do my maths here, 49 you'll pay $8 a year, and any above 51 you'll pay $7 per year. So that's a slightly different way of actually doing it. We're going to add one more component to this, and this, let's say this is the accounting software, which we'll call Bookkeeper Plus. This one is done again by annual subscription, but these guys, they use what's called stair pricing. And the way that stair pricing works is that you can buy in batches. So no matter whether you want 1 or 10, you pay the same price. 1 unit is for 10 units. So again, we'll say per user. Operates in a very similar manner. So we say 1 to 10, in which case it might be different. There might be 1 to 20, and its price is 25 per year. 21 to 40, its price is 20. 40 and above, its price is 15. Now, the way this one will work is, if you want 7 units or you want 19 units, you will still pay $25 for the year. If you want 22 or 39, you'll pay 20. Okay, it doesn't matter how many you take. Your choice is either up to 20, up to 40, or an infinite number. Once I've done this particular thing, I can again save my record, and if we now look at product, we see a very detailed explanation of the various components within the system. Thanks for your attention.